Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, we're going to have a look at Cardano. Breaking records, lots happening, and it definitely warrants somebody talking about it. So if you enjoy this sort of content and you want to support the channel, mash up that like button. It really does help push out the content to like-minded individuals, and we really do appreciate it. And subscribe if you haven't already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. Right, let's get down to the desktop. So we're going to start at CoinMarketCap, and the market cap, if I get my words out, is at 1.94 trillion, up 1.92% at the time of recording. Bitcoin at 41,962.54, up 1.75%. Ethereum not really doing very much, but 3,095.55, up 0.72%. Cardano in 9th position at the moment, 95 cent 6, up 0.72%, kind of mirroring Ethereum quite heavily. But on that note, Ethereum obviously has had a delay. I was expecting this to happen just because we've had this, I don't know how many times, I'm losing count, how many times they're going to delay this. There's clearly problems, and you know, ultimately Cardano from a technical standpoint is a more secure coding language, and ultimately I think it's going to have more longevity. Currently people will look at Ethereum as, you know, this chain that has, you know, got all this dominance, but you know, I do feel that Cardano is going to eat away at some of that market share quite significantly. And we're going to start with the first piece of exciting news, and that was on the 18th, so you know, 3 days ago now. Singularity Net's ERC20 token converter or coin converter bridge went live. And ultimately, what does this mean? Singularity Net, which is has the ticker AGIX, and accompanying projects like Singularity DAO and NewNet, which is NTX, and SDAO being SDAO, ultimately are all now, you know, able to be ported over, or bridged over, should I articulate it correctly, from Ethereum to Cardano. And ultimately this is really exciting. We're starting to see these projects port over, and I think this is just the beginning, as we're going to start to see more and more projects port over to the Cardano ecosystem. How many of those projects are going to move from Ethereum to Cardano at this stage? I guess that's unknown, but I do look at it very much like this, right? You've got another delay from, you know, Ethereum on their upgrade, right, which is obviously to basically, you know, help with the fees. And don't get me wrong, you've got layer 2 projects that support with, you know, fast transactions, low fees, so you have few options, but ultimately I do kind of feel that a lot of businesses are going to have the mindset of what's easiest and most convenient and cheapest and the best tech. And ultimately I kind of feel that a lot of these projects are going to port over to Cardano. That's openly how I feel things are going to happen. But with that, you know, you do need education, and obviously you've got universities opening up to, you know, cover how to basically do all of this coding and understanding the languages that are involved. And you know, with that educational piece will come more and more developers and so forth, right? So ultimately I don't think this is something that's going to happen overnight. But I do kind of feel that in the short, medium and long term, Cardano is a great investment. But this is just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. This should be treated as educational purposes only. You definitely need to know that this market is volatile. You should definitely not invest more than you're willing to lose, because, you know, it's a volatile market and there's lots of scams and all that side of things. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is go do your own research. Don't take any influencer, including myself's word for it. But ultimately, Nick and myself, we don't do endorsed, promos, paid promos or anything like that. And we're certainly not looking to sell any of these coins or tokens that we hold. So, ultimately, we're as transparent as it comes, but we're not financial advisors. So, best course of action is to go take your own, or go do your own research, I should say. Okay, so want to talk about breaking records. So we have had the biggest purchase on the Cardano ecosystem for NFTs, and it was the spending of 135,000 ADA on a 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗧 8885 piece. Now, I am like a skeptic when it comes to these things. I do believe that some people just pay obscene amounts of money or coins just to be that first or the most expensive and get all the clout that potentially comes with it. So I take this sort of stuff with a pinch of salt, but ultimately, again, it's more positive news for Cardano, particularly this NFT project. Moving on, and we've got again just I guess talk of the fact that the ERC20 converter, can't get my words out today, has gone live. That happened, obviously, AGIX, and then on to everything else. So huge step forward for Cardano, and the terrible nightmare for Ethereum users. And people are saying that obviously they're so excited. So yeah, completely think this is huge. I think it's great that we've got it, and ultimately, yeah, it's the dawn of a new day. And I think with the upgrade in June, things are looking very, very, very good for Cardano. But do let me know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comments below. And obviously, Justin, Cardano has added an additional 100,000 wallets to its network just in the past month. And I will link this article into the description of the video and in our Discord. So do check out the link to our Discord in the description of the video. It's free to join. We'd love to have you there. And yeah, check it out. We like to have more meaningful conversations in our Discord, so do check it out. And we've got, as of today, nearly 900 projects are building on Cardano, and this number goes up day by day. Keeping track of all the news from this incredible ecosystem is not easy, and ultimately it takes weeks to compile all of this information and updates, as IOHK indicates. But ultimately, for me, they're right. The ecosystem's growing. We know that there's many projects that are building on Cardano. It's exciting, and ultimately, this is, for me, the calm before the storm. And what I mean by this is I expect an influx of projects. I expect more ADA to be getting locked up with DeFi protocols. We've seen Binance offering obscene amounts of APY. I think 50-something%, 52 or 54%, if you locked up ADA for 8 days with Binance the other week. So ultimately, what does this mean? This means, in my eyes, what does this mean anyway? It means that we're starting to see a squeeze on the supply of Cardano. We already know that over 70% is staked. Don't get me wrong, that's not locked up in any way. Anybody can delegate and undelegate at any point that they wish, but it's still off exchanges. So with this happening, and I guess the encouragement of influencers and other people encouraging people to delegate their ADA. I mean, we've got a pool with a ticker 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓, so do check that out, and we'd love to have you delegate to our pool. But ultimately, by keeping the ADA off the exchanges, you're making it you're making it less available for people, and I guess it's supply and demand, right? If there's a low supply but there's still high demand, the price is going to go up. So this is what I'm kind of expecting. Don't hold me to it, but this is my expectation for ADA. So some of these extortionate or how they look extortionate price predictions from some of these influencers, I do think can actually come to fruition, just purely on this basis that there's going to be this squeeze on the supply, right? And as you get more DeFi protocols going live on ADA, you're going to start to see yield opportunities with ADA paired with other assets, meaning that more ADA is going to get locked up for higher, returns, farming, yielding, and all this sort of stuff. Plus, you're going to start to have metaverse projects go live, more pairings, more liquidity needing to be provided. Ultimately, I can see, a real opportunity here. And you've got arbitrage opportunities as some of these projects port over from Ethereum over to Cardano as well. So lots of opportunity right now in this space. If we have a look at some of the data, we can see obviously the wallets increasing massively. So the total wallets now is 3,277,136. We've seen staking that has dropped. It was at 72.76. Now it's at 72.71. So it's not the biggest drop in the world. Looks quite big on here. But don't forget, I mentioned that there has been opportunities to delegate on the exchanges, as there has been less available ADA on the exchanges. Plus, we've had some DeFi projects go live, meaning that there is higher yield opportunities elsewhere. So I'm not too concerned by seeing the total ADA staked come down a little bit. Ultimately, I think it's just really money moving, or ADA moving around the market to secure higher yield or possible returns. So ADA's wallets per day on the increase massively. Total value locked on here, it's fairly stable. Bearing in mind we had this pullback in the market. Again, I think this is a positive. The load on the blockchain is Amber at 84.40%, so not the best. It can take some time for transactions to go through currently. The adjusted volume per day in USD has increased over the last few days. Native tokens are up, and the transactions / payments per day is also up. So, really positive stuff to be seeing. And ultimately, I've talked about the fact that I like to look at the adoption metrics whilst we have these pullbacks. Ultimately, I've been seeing this increase, day on day, week on week. And then if we look here, total value locked 227.49 million. It's up 1.81% in the last 24 hours. Min swap dominance is at 47.33. Again, I expect this to change over time. And ultimately, we're going to see more projects appear on here over time. So ultimately, a bit of a longer video than I anticipated, but I really did want to cover some of this information. The fact that you've got the converter now, so you can move assets from Ethereum over to Cardano, is huge. The fact that we've seen such a surge in new wallets being set up for ADA is huge. The fact that we're starting to see shortages of ADA on exchanges is huge, and I think we're going to see more of it. I think the points that I'm trying to raise here is actually, a lot of the stuff we've been seeing in the media has been quite negative over quite a length of time. I think a lot of this is because there's lots of VCs invested in other projects, and they're spreading FUD. Some of these may own some of the media outlets. Some of the media outlets just dislike certain people like Charles, for example, and they're just going to, spread FUD just because they can, and they're in a position of power to do so. And ultimately, I think we're going to start to see some real price discovery. I think we're going to see some people's opinions change as they start to see the price discovery. But ultimately, where are the opportunities? I think the opportunities are currently in ADA and projects that are building on Cardano. I think there's some fantastic protocols like MELD, World Mobile, 𝗕𝗃𝗪𝗃, and various others that I haven't mentioned. Then you've got the projects coming over, and we're big fans of the Singularity family of projects, NewNet, 𝗕𝗪𝗪, and AGIX. As these projects move across, I think you're going to see some potential price discovery for these, as well as it's better technology on the Cardano ecosystem, and I think these projects are going to be able to leverage more from Cardano than they are from Ethereum, for example. So really exciting times, lots happening. Want you guys to be sort of kept up to date as best we can. There's lots of stuff happening, lots of new projects. So make sure that you follow others in the space that are covering Cardano as well, that perhaps cover some of the additional projects. We cover a lot of projects on this channel, and it can be difficult, as articulated in some of the notes that I've covered in this video, to keep up with all the news. So I would encourage people to watch other Cardano channels also. If you enjoy this sort of content and you appreciate the work that we put into it, mash up that like button. We really do appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.